But it's senior day here in Morgantown. 3 seniors being honored: Jermaine Haley, Chase Harler, and Logan Rout. And alongside Fran Frischel, I'm Clay Matvick. Senior day, Fran, as you know, always a special day.
It is. These 3 seniors have won a lot of games for Bob Huggins. It's not always easy to play on senior day because there's a lot of emotion. And today we had a unique senior day because we had a marriage proposal.
That's
too.
right. Let's get you to the public address announcer for the festivities.
Brandon Akers. Brandon is an athletic training major and is being escorted by his parents, Michelle and Andy Akers. Next, the student manager from Williamstown, West Virginia, Landon Travis. Landon is a sport and exercise psychology major who's being escorted by his parents, Lance and Angie Travis. Now let's meet the senior Mountaineers. A senior from Cameron, West Virginia, who has played in 102 games during his Mountaineer career. He's in his 5th season in the Mountaineer basketball program, coming to WVU as a walk-on and now finishing his career on scholarship. A member of the academic All-Big 12 men's basketball first team this season, and 3-time academic All-Big 12 men's basketball team member during his career. He graduated last year with a bachelor's degree in sport management and is now pursuing a master's degree in business administration. This season, he is WVU's representative as the Big 12 Conference's champion for life and posted a career-high 9 points against Texas in January. Today, he's being escorted by his father, Lance Rout, mother, Marie Beresford, and stepfather, Jeff Beresford. Let's hear it for number 31, Logan Rout. A senior who came to Morgantown all the way from Vancouver, British Columbia. He's in his 2nd season in the Mountaineer basketball program and will make his 54th start as a Mountaineer today. He will always be remembered for his game-winning layup against number 7 Kansas last season and scored a career-high 28 points in the win over Iowa State last season. He will graduate with a degree in multidisciplinary studies from WVU. This afternoon, he's being escorted by his father, Jermaine Haley Sr., mother, Paula Haley. Mountaineer fans, let's hear it for number 10, Jermaine Haley. And a senior from Moundsville, West Virginia, who will be playing in his 116th career game today. A 3-time member of the academic All-Big 12 men's basketball first team, who graduated last year with a degree in general business and will graduate with a master's degree in sport management from WVU. He posted a career-high 15 points against Coastal Carolina last season and had a season-high 14 points against Iowa State in February. He has started 20 games during his WVU career. Today, in his final home game, he's being escorted by his parents, Tammy and John Harder. Mountaineer Nation, let's hear it for number 4.
They're the 3 seniors being honored here before number 4 Baylor and West Virginia take the court. Fran, did you ever have a senior day surprise when you were coaching?
I did. At Manhattan College, we lost our final game of the regular season, even though we already had clinched the conference. I didn't let the mayor of New York come into the locker room to congratulate our team because I didn't know he was waiting.
Well, there you see Chase Harler, West Virginia native from Moundsville. 2-time West Virginia Gatorade Player of the Year, went to Wheeling Central High School. And he had a sweetheart during his high school days, still has that sweetheart. We're about ready to get another senior day surprise. Hang on for it. It's coming up shortly.
Your attention, please. Our apologies. Chase is also being escorted by his future fiancée, Lindsay Baker. They've been together since the 8th grade. Congratulations, Chase and Lindsay. Mountaineer Nation, let's hear it for our Mountaineer seniors. Thank you for your outstanding contribution to Mountaineer basketball.
High school sweethearts, soon to be married. Congratulations to Lindsay and Chase. Number 4, Baylor, and West Virginia coming up shortly. You're watching Big 12 now on ESPN Plus from a packed WVU Coliseum in Morgantown, West Virginia. The final game of the Big 12 regular season, and a lot on the line as the number 4 Baylor Bears meet the Mountaineers of West Virginia. So as we start the day, here's a look at the Big 12 standings. And keep in mind, a lot could change, a lot will likely change by the end of the day. Baylor has a chance to claim its first league title of any kind in 70 years. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Morgantown alongside Fran Fraschilla. I'm Clay Matvick, and here we go, Fran, the end of the regular season. It comes down again to the final day, not only to decide who the champ is going to be, but just about every other place in this league.
Well, if you're a fan of these teams and you're going to Kansas City, you likely have no idea when your team is playing, and that won't be finally decided until late tonight when Oklahoma plays at TCU.
Yeah, 1 through 9 is still fluid. And here's what's at stake in this game. Baylor with a win and a Kansas loss at Texas Tech can win a share of the Big 12 title. West Virginia with a win, they could finish as high as 3rd in the Big 12. A loss, they could finish as low as 7th. All right, so Baylor, they might have the best guards in the Big 12. It certainly looked that way on Monday in that overtime win against Texas Tech. You were there.
Yeah, these guys have more guards than Fort Knox. 4 of them who can really play. And you see the numbers they put up Monday night. That's typical for them. But don't forget, Clay, they're also an outstanding group of defensive players, number 3 in the country. And this guy, Mark Vital, who did not play on Monday night, he is the glue to the defense. He can guard 1 through 5, makes a lot of hustle plays.
Not only is he going to play, he's going to start. He's out there ready to go. Meanwhile, the Mountaineers, they've lost 6 of their last 8. It's been up and down lately, but they did get a nice road win Tuesday in Ames.
They did, and they need to build on that. The whole key is, can they make shots and open up the inside for guys like Oscar Tshiebwe?
Baylor in Road Green, West Virginia in gray. We've got Joe DeRosa, Keith Kimball, and Darren George as our officiating crew. So Baylor beat West Virginia wire to wire in Waco last month, 70-59. They've got a good record here in Morgantown, 4-3 all time, including a win last year. We'll see if they can do it again.
What you have here today is the oldest team in the Big 12, Baylor, versus the Big 12's youngest team.
Gillespie and Rout to take the center tip. Rout, one of the 3 seniors being honored before the game today for West Virginia, and the Mountaineers control the opening tip. You see the starting 5 for the Mountaineers. We've got Harler, Rout, and Haley, the 3 seniors, all getting starts today.
At their best, West Virginia plays from the inside to the outside.
And the starting 5 for Baylor, as they will get the first 2 as Jared Butler, the terrific sophomore, scores.
On his way to being all-league first team. That voting will take place over the weekend, but I expect that to happen. A great young guard.
There's Jordan McCabe, locked up there by Mitchell, one of the best defenders not only in this league but in the country. McCabe swings it inside. Oscar Tshiebwe misses strong on his first field goal attempt. And here comes Baylor again.
That's the lob.
Butler to Vital. Can't finish inside.
Oh, Vital got behind the defense. Just couldn't finish it.
And Jermaine Haley shuffled his feet. Maybe some of those senior day jitters for him.
Could be. Not easy to play on senior day. These guys know that it's the final time on this court. And for this West Virginia team, Clay, a lot at stake. Trying to get momentum back to what was a great start to the season.
Win today for West Virginia, and they for sure avoid a Wednesday game in Kansas City, and that's big. Vital trying to find Gillespie. Well defended by Rout. Almost got tipped in. Another lob on this end now, and Haley can't hold it in.
What you're going to see from both teams today, you see a turnover there. These are two not only great defensive teams, but great offensive rebounding teams. If you don't turn it over and you get shots on the glass, that becomes really your main offense.
West Virginia #1 in the league with offensive rebounds and #1 in the country. Baylor #2 in the Big 12. There's Maceo Teague kissing it off the window. He didn't play the first time these two teams got together.
That's right, and he has really, especially in this last month when healthy, really coming into his own. Outstanding shooter. As we mentioned, all 3 or 4 of these guards can really defend.
There's Sheboy trying to dunk it down, can't. And then it came into Rout's hands, and he is fouled from behind. As you look at Scott Drew in his 17th season at Baylor, winning his coach in program history, 8 national tournaments, 4 Sweet 16s, and this might be his best team yet. And there's Bob Huggins, just past Dean Smith for 6th on the all-time wins list, 880 wins in 38 years.
Scott Drew's first 2 years in the Big 12, a record of 4-28. Times have changed. Again, I think you got to play through Sheboy particularly.
And a miss for Haley.
He's got to get touches.
Butler, the reverse. And Gillespie tried to tip it up and in, and there's Oscar Sheboy doing what he does on the glass.
It's going to be fun to see who can offensive rebound today, because both these teams, as we mentioned, elite, but also outstanding defensively.
Fran, West Virginia needs to settle in. 0 for 4 from the field with 3 turnovers.
This is the MO of the last month during this Schneid. That's a turnover.
No, Big 12 now, ESPN Plus. Going to be a lot of coverage from the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City. Post-game pressers from both the men's and women's side. And then baseball season underway, as is softball season. Sign up today, ESPNplus.com/Big12 now.
That's amazing. Outstanding baseball teams in the Big 12. Certainly TCU and Texas Tech, Texas. But West Virginia's got a good program and a great stadium.
Yeah, they do. Right across the road from the hotel.
Exactly, yep.
Down in Georgia today, where it's much warmer. A little snow today in Morgantown.
Basketball weather.
And West Virginia has started cold, that's for sure. There's Gillespie. Getting 2 more for Baylor.
And a good find. Jared Butler held on to that ball until Gillespie freed himself late in the play, and a good catch by the big guy.
Scott Drew telling you and I, he's got to play well today and avoid foul trouble.
Yes, and that's important against Culver and Sheboy.
Taz Sherman missed another shot for the Mountaineers, and then there's contact and a foul against Derek Culver.
Let's just call it like it is. West Virginia is a poor shooting team, and what magnifies it, Clay, is in anticipation of trying to get hot, they oftentimes force even tougher shots. 26% in Big 12 play from behind the arc.
Matthew Myers checked into the game for Baylor. He's in the corner. Butler decides to go in, and he draws the contact, and he'll go to the line.
He's got a bag of tricks, this young man. From Reserve, Louisiana. Originally committed to Alabama. Played for a high school coach who sent 2 players to play at Baylor. before Butler. They were pretty good. Tweety Carter, their first McDonald's All-American, and then, of course, Rico Gathers.
Here comes Devontae Bandu, number 2, the senior from Ontario, Canada. Boy, coming off a great senior night in Waco on Monday, 18 points. And had that big 3 to force overtime. Baylor in a good spot right now. West Virginia calls a timeout. Well, West Virginia knew they had to limit turnovers to have a better fate than the last time they faced Baylor, when they were forced into 22 giveaways, and Baylor scored 21 points off those turnovers. So far, though, Fran, it's been the same story for the Mountaineers.
It really has. If it's not the bad shooting, it's the turnovers, and they just have so many empty possessions, which puts pressure on their defense, and that's a bad recipe against the number 4 team in the country.
You see Bob on the bench shouting some instructions to the guys.
I think this group right now with Sherman and McBride, that's their best. To me, those are the 2 best guards. I think those guys have to play more and more.
$7-0 Baylor. With a win, they have a chance at a share of the Big 12 regular season title. They also need Kansas to lose at Texas Tech later today. Here is Sherman. He'll fire it inside. Culver had it poked away.
That's not a surprise. Derek Culver does not use his body to get to the basket. He's a double pump guy, and he can't be that way.
There's Davion Mitchell, the Auburn transfer. He has been a great fit in his first season on the court for the Bears. Nice pass to Meyer.
Boy, and Matthew Meyer's another guy, Clay, that comes off the bench with high energy. Talk about Bandu as maybe the 6th man of the year in the league. Matthew Meyer also important.
Meyer played well against West Virginia in the first meeting, finished with 13 and 8 in just 17 minutes. Short corner shot doesn't fall for McBride. And there's a foul on Baylor underneath.
Watch Davion Mitchell now. He's going to explore the paint, and Meyer's going to sneak behind his defender. Culver comes up. You never help up off the baseline because you expose the basket. That was a perfect example right there.
Sherman. And there's still a lid on that basket for West Virginia. Culver's putback doesn't go. Sheboy can't get it to fall, but he'll find himself on the free throw line.
West Virginia's best offense is the missed shot. They're going to rebound 40% of their misses. Number 1 in the country. The key now is for Sheboy and Culver to be more efficient in the lane and finish those.
Sheboy and Culver get to the line a lot. They're not great foul shooters. West Virginia as a team, the worst foul shooting team in the Big 12, and that's been part of the problem, especially over the last 8 games.
It is. They get there, but they don't complete it. It's almost like an invisible turnover when they miss free throws. You know, I mentioned 40% of their misses. In college basketball play, the average is 28%. It gives you an idea of how efficient they are on the offensive glass.
Well, West Virginia finally on the board. You see the turnover issues for the Mountaineers here early with 5. Meyer sends it over the top of the backboard. Here comes Gabe Osaboyan into the game for the Mountaineers. The Arkansas transfer. Sheboy's going to take a seat.
Yeah, he's a human demolition derby. 23 charges on the season. Great energy and effort. A pretty good passer, too, into the post.
And he took 3 charges in that game in Ames on Tuesday night. Hey, that's a nice hook shot from Culver.
It sure is. Took his time, didn't get doubled. And the danger with Culver is he's actually a good passer if you do come with a double.
Culver, you can see, had a great night Tuesday night against Iowa State. Nearly had a double-double. He's got his first 2 here today. So the first field goal in the books for the Mountaineers. That doesn't go for Mitchell. Now the crowd's starting to get into it.
Yeah, and that's because they're not turning the ball over, West Virginia.
Emmett Matthews takes it in deep. Now Culver trying to spin away from Butler, and he traveled.
Trying to do a little too much, but let's go back to that previous play and watch how he catches it, looks to the middle, recognizes there's no double team, turns away from pressure, and a good finish by the sophomore from Youngstown.
Baylor held Culver to 3 points last month, and he got into early foul trouble. That was a real issue for him. I think he had 3 before halftime.
Yes. Well, they still bring the heat, West Virginia, defensively.
Still under time on the shot clock for the Bears. Meyer nearly carried it. To the corner, Bandu. Matthews to McBride, the freshman. Falling away. You bet. Little luck there.
He banked it, didn't want to, but had to get it over Meyer's outstretched length. A lot of confidence growing.
6-0 run for the Mountaineers after a cold start.
Bears are getting nothing on the offensive glass. It's one and done.
Five to shoot. Bandu has to hurry. Blocked. Shot clock violation.
West Virginia in transition. Watch Matthews. High off the glass. They need his scoring, Clay. He has had a very, very tough sophomore season.
He only played 7 minutes on Tuesday, but boy, he got this building going after making that shot.
Good time to go inside to Oscar.
He's trying to post up. Gillespie gets the pass. Gillespie, well defended, and Vital takes it away.
I'm not sure Fred Gillespie even left the floor. He stayed vertical with that 7'6" wingspan.
One of the best stories in the Big 12 the last couple of years. Freddie Gillespie out of Minnesota. Butler from the corner. Can't quiet the crowd. Loose, taken back by the Bears. Bandu got it to Butler, but he can't hang on. And the energy now belongs to West Virginia here in Morgantown. West Virginia's defense has really turned it on here the last few minutes. Baylor 3.5 minutes without a point.
Yeah, you can complain about West Virginia's offense over the last 8 games, but you can't complain about the defense. Take a look at this. Nobody's getting into the paint. Great challenge, causes the shot clock violation. And Clay, it's hard to believe because of the struggles. They have the number 3 defense in college basketball. Yeah. Kansas 1, Baylor 4. It speaks for itself on the defensive end.
You talked about points in the paint. And Baylor outscored West Virginia 42-14. 14 in that game in February. And that was a big thing they had to change here today.
And that's not just big guys. That's letting these guards get into the lane. That hasn't been easy so far for the Baylor Bears. Little zone now by Baylor. You don't see this very often.
And there's a foul on Butler.
They have played 38 possessions of zone the entire season. Let's say if they stay in it or they just did it as an adjustment out of a timeout. I think they're going to go back to man. 98% man this year.
But zone is still in their DNA, so they can fluctuate if they have to.
Yep.
And so Saboyan trying to attack, and he's fouled by Mark Vital, who seems to be moving around okay here in the early going.
But hasn't impacted the game yet. You know, he missed that lob early. You know, deflections, rebounds, steals, that's his game. We haven't seen much of that yet.
Vital, a Naismith Defensive Player of the Year semifinalist. Shot clock under 10 now for Taz Sherman. Looking for help. Matthews throws up a three. Yes!
Oh, he needed that. 5 for 32 coming in from behind the arc. And they need that kind of game from guys like Matthews if they're going to upset the number 4 team in the country.
West Virginia has come back to tie it up. And we're down 9-0. They can take the lead on this possession. Now Butler will force it into the front court. Bandu to Vital. Blocked again. And Gabe Osabuoyan is going to be helped to his feet. Great defensive player.
Yeah, but I think Derek Culver was in the mix too on that. And again, because of that size inside that West Virginia has, they have one of the best field goal defenses in college basketball because they protect the paint.
Foul on Bandu, his first. Here's Miles McBride, the freshman, going to Culver again. Culver around the horn of Gillespie, and he got it on the backside.
Perfect. When you play against a shot blocker, if you can use the rim to protect the ball, you're going to score. Well done by Derek Culver.
Mitchell misses. The stick back by Gillespie doesn't go. And this is going to stay on this end with 19 on the shot clock.
Take a look, Clay. Watch Culver go back side of the basket, and he uses the rim so that Gillespie can't elevate. Otherwise, he's jumping through the rim. That's putting the defender in jail. Excellent.
From the free throw line, Gillespie can't hit it.
I'm telling you, Baylor is sped up and out of sorts right now. That's not a shot Scott Drew wanted.
McBride eyeballing Culver. They finally get it to him. And then Gillespie tips it out of bounds. Here comes Flo Thamba onto the floor. Gillespie is going to get a blow for Baylor. Thamba, their 6'10 sophomore. He's been playing more because of injuries to Vital and Tristan Clark.
We got two young men from the Congo on the court today with Shibwe and Thamba.
Off the turnover. Butler goes right against McBride and got it off the glass.
That was great defense by McBride because he stayed vertical, but Jared Butler took his body right to McBride.
Butler has been so consistent. 6 straight games with at least 16 points. He's got 5 here early. We're tied at 11. Osabuoyan. No. Culver. Second chance opportunity. He can't finish. And Butler will clear it. There's a travel on Maceo Teague.
Let's go back and watch that basket. The steal first. This is actually really good defense by McBride, but a good hang in the air by Butler finishing that shot. Really well done.
That was the first Baylor field goal in over 6 minutes.
Well, I think both teams, listen, this is elite defense you're watching, both ends.
Sean McNeil, he's kind of a three-point specialist for West Virginia. And now McBride over Butler. Matthews tracks it down. New shot clock for the Mountaineers. They go right back inside. And the big O, Oscar Shibwe.
Yep. Countryman. Congo on Congo crime right there.
First 2 for Shibwe. He had a double-double the last time these two teams played. We'll go stoppage here with a foul. on Emmett Matthews, his first.
The big fella, Big O, Oscar Sheboy, the freshman. Power, strength, length. He gets 2. Let's watch the anatomy of a really good timeout huddle. Here's Scott Drew with the rest of the staff. Jerome Tang is the first voice they hear, the associate coach. He's like the sous chef in a really good restaurant. He's preparing the meal, explaining to them his ideas, and then sooner or later, Scott Drew will be done with the adjustments. He'll come into the huddle, finish it off, but great teamwork. These two guys have been together for 17 seasons at Baylor. Jerome Tang has been every bit as big a part of the rebuilding as anybody on this staff.
It's been a big year for Baylor. Started 13-0 in Big 12 play, including the program's first win at Kansas, 23 straight wins at one point, a Big 12 record. They could get their 16th conference win today and could get a share of the regular season title in this league if things fall right. But they're down 2 now, 7.5 to go first half.
Clay, do you see how hard it is to get into the paint?
Thamba tracks it down in the corner. Yeah, the West Virginia defense has locked it down, and here is a steal by McBride.
There is no breathing room in the painted area this afternoon for Baylor. They're not exploring the lane because of great half-court defense.
It's the 6th turnover for Baylor. Matthews got it. Boy, he's hot today.
And then he needs to be. This young man dropped 28 last year in the Big 12 tournament.
Couple of threes for Matthews. It's a 16-2 run for the Mountaineers. Teague had an opening, gave it up. McBride, and Matthews is going to back it out. Boy, Baylor came out so poised, and now West Virginia is the team totally in control.
Completely agree.
McNeil!
Watch out.
And another Baylor timeout.
It's a simple game when you're making shots. And when West Virginia does this and complements its defense, this is how they work their way up to a number 2 seed projected early in February.
And a reminder what the teams are playing for today, the final day of the regular season. Baylor needs a win and a Kansas loss in Lubbock to get a share of the Big 12 regular season title and the number 1 seed for the Big 12 tournament for the first time. Again, Baylor hasn't won a conference tournament of any kind since 1950. West Virginia, I mean, their options are all over the place. They could finish as high as 3rd, as low as 7th.
Yeah, it's been a crazy season in the Big 12. 2 teams have essentially dominated and lots of parity in the middle. But there's one dominant team on the court right now here at the West Virginia Coliseum, and that's the home team.
Gillespie attacks, and he's fouled. They're going to count that. No, they're just going to count the basket, no foul.
Yep, good slip screen right there coming out of a timeout. Just taking advantage of that intense pressure. Gillespie got behind the defense. Well executed.
4 for Freddie Gillespie. And the lead is 6 off the West Virginia turnover. Mitchell with Gillespie. He'll keep it and finish.
Boy, that Mitchell, he's got a nickname on his team. It's called Off Night, because usually you have an off night when he's guarding you. Look at the harassment right now. High level.
Harassing the freshman.
Yep.
And it forces a turnover. Numbers for the Bears. And Butler missed the layup. How about the 3? And that's going to be a foul on Mark Vital.
I thought they missed that one. I don't think that was a foul, but let's watch Mitchell's harassment. Miles McBride, he's going to need a restraining order here. Just great pressure leads to the run out. Mitchell had a steal on the ensuing play, but he is relentless in terms of his half-court pressure. I thought that Mark Vital made a great hustle play, and there was no foul call.
Yeah, the second foul called on Vital. It's going to send Culver to the line. And Culver has struggled at the line all year. 54% foul shooter. And there's a break for Baylor as it's a foul on the Mountaineers. Fourth team foul on West Virginia. There's the top 10 scoreboard. You see Florida with an early lead on Kentucky. Kansas will be coming up at 2 o'clock against Texas Tech. A big game in the Big 12. Kansas trying to go to 17-1 in league play. That would be a record. Butler on the feed from Vital at the half-court line.
Back-to-back steals, and Vital now making his presence felt. He's starting to loosen up a little bit. Remember, he missed Monday night. Active on both ends.
And it's a 6-0 run for the Bears. Yeah, it's tendinitis in the knee. And he's playing through it and playing well. Oh, Saboyan working hard for West Virginia. And now the Mountaineers are coming alive again defensively.
You are watching two of the best defensive teams in the country, Clay. Scoring points today is going to not come easy.
Bandu and Meyer will come back onto the floor for Baylor. The senior Jermaine Haley back on the court for the Mountaineers.
Well, I'm telling you, Davion Mitchell can't play that hard that long without needing a little rest. Good move.
Yeah, we were talking to the Baylor folks who said might be the best on-ball defender they've ever had in Waco.
Yep, and I think he could be the best in the country. There's a reason he's been nominated for Naismith Defensive Player of the Year. McBride
in and out. Knocked around. Gillespie taps it ahead to Meyer. And that is going to be taken away by McBride. Great hustle. McNeil's floater. In and out. And now we've got a whistle and an injury timeout as Meyer is shaken up with 3:47 to go here in the first half. The leaders for West Virginia here in Morgantown. Games are always physical here. And on that last play, 2 Baylor Bears were shaken up.
Exactly. Now Meyer's going to fall down hard. No foul call. And then you'll see Bandu is going to hit knees with a West Virginia player. Now, I want you to watch. Watch Bandu's going to get banging knees right there with Haley. But Keith Kimball, the official, is also watching Matthew Meyer down on the floor. New rule this year, the referee can stop play at any time, no matter who has the ball. Meyer seems to be okay. Bandu to the locker room. All of a sudden, Baylor shorthanded again.
They were down 2 men on Monday night and managed an overtime win against Texas Tech. It's much harder to be shorthanded on the road, and we'll see if Bandu can come back and have an impact on this game.
Remember, they're playing without Tristan Clark, who is still suffering from knee soreness.
And Gillespie, unfortunately for him, is going to be called for the foul. He was down on his stomach.
I'm going to tell you what's happened right now. Baylor is not getting away with the type of plays they make for most of the season. That little pocket pass by Teague usually slips through. But West Virginia's defense, Clay, it's as good as any I've seen since early in the year with them.
And Derek Culver will go to the line for a 1-on-1 opportunity. And that's for the case throughout the season for Culver. With a lot of points at the line.
Look at this.
Haley got a hand on it.
Yeah, that's a deflection. It's not a steal, but look how disruptive it is. West Virginia charts deflections.
Butler with the shot clock winding down. Lobs it over to Vital. It's poked away.
Scott Drew's having an out-of-body experience right now. Early in the season, Clay, I said on the broadcast, I thought West Virginia had the best defense in the country. They look like it today.
That's the 12th turnover for West Virginia. And Baylor nearly coughed it up for the 12th time.
West Virginia's fortunate that they're... Look at this. That's a charge.
That's a charge, yep. And it's taken by, of course, Gabe Osaboyan. That's his 24th charge taken this year. West Virginia baseball coming your way later this month on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Mountaineers will take on Kansas. Big weekend series in Lawrence starting on the 20th. Sign up today. ESPNplus.com/Big 12 Now. Both of these coaches at halftime, Fran, are going to be talking about ball control.
Oh, no question. This is about as poorly as I've seen Baylor play maybe all season long, including that second half against TCU.
That was the third foul on Mark Vital, by the way, so he goes to the bench to preserve what he has left. Just over 2 minutes to go in the half. McBride from 3.
It's a simple formula for the Mountaineers. You make shots, you add a little outstanding defense, you got a 7-point lead. Freddie Gillespie's been pretty good all season in switch situations versus guards, but watch Miles McBride size him up, and the freshman from Cincinnati, Moeller, knocking it down. A terrific addition to this team this year. Miles McBride, a winner, 88-4 in his high school career at Cincinnati Moeller.
He was so good in that win on Tuesday in Ames, very much in control. Finished with 17 points. He continues to get better every day as that's a foul on McBride.
Foul whistled on Deuce McBride, his
first on Miles.
Remember, West Virginia had #1 Kansas in here and led by 7 with 10 to go. Long way to go in this game.
Gillespie.
He can pick it up. He could have come back in bounds and picked it up also. They don't know the rule.
Able to save it for Teague. And now Teague. And Baylor saving the possession and drawing contact on the other end.
As long as Gillespie doesn't have the ball and he's out of bounds. See, now watch, he lets go of the ball. He's allowed to pick it up by rule. His momentum takes him out of bounds. He's allowed to come back on the court. The judgment is, did he have the ball in his hands when he stepped out of bounds? It looks like he did not.
So Teague will go to the line. Another one on the board for Baylor. It's a 4-point game.
I think the Bears are very fortunate they're only down 4.
They had a 9-0 lead to start this game. And Gillespie will clear it. Here comes Baylor with a little over a minute to go. They're saved by Gillespie.
That's the offensive glass we talked about. They didn't get that early.
There's Maceo Teague throwing up a prayer, and it's answered.
I was about to say too much one-on-one. But these guards can create on their own. Oh, he walked again. Same call early in the game.
Teague, by the way, 3 of 4 from the field in this half. He's had a good half. 30 seconds to play. 10 on the shot clock here. That's a player control foul on the freshman McBride.
Maceo Teague has been a real offensive catalyst over the second part of the season. Looking to manufacture that shot and use the window. Well done.
And so now the shot clock will be off. Baylor could take the last shot of the half if they want to, and they could have a lead at the break and salvage this first half, which looked good to start, but West Virginia came alive after a cold beginning.
And they're picking out what they think is the weakest defender. Because they have three playmakers out there, they're going to take advantage of McNeil.
McNeil, the sophomore from Dayton, Ohio. Watching Teague. Teague, step back three. Way off the mark. And that's how the half ends. 24-22, West Virginia leading number 4 Baylor, which is playing for a share of the Big 12 regular season title. It's been a game of runs so far. Currently Baylor on an 11-3 run. We're back with the halftime report right after this timeout. Back here in Morgantown for Big 12 now on ESPN Plus. Final day of the regular season in this conference. And you see the score, 24-22 at the half. West Virginia trying to upset number 4 Baylor alongside Fran Fraschilla. I'm Clay Matvick. It's not about the points, though, in this game so far, Fran. It's been about the defense.
And you would expect that. These are 2 of the 4 best defenses in college basketball, and they put on a defensive clinic today. Both ways. I thought the pressure was outstanding, challenging at the rim, forcing turnovers. It started with West Virginia's effort. It continued with Baylor. And it was fun. It wasn't a lot of great offensive plays, but you have to admire that both teams are locked in defensively. On Baylor's end, take a look. Watch how they challenge at the rim and offensive and defensive rebound. Nothing comes easy for West Virginia today. And just outstanding, excellent ball pressure. They set the wall up inside. And that's why we only have a 24-22 score at halftime play.
Davion Mitchell, some great defense from him in particular in that first half. Baylor stormed out to that 9-0 lead, but then West Virginia went on a run. And Baylor right now has a run going into the second half.
Let me put into perspective what West Virginia was able to do to Baylor in the first half. Baylor's had 19 games this season where they turned the ball over 12 times or fewer the entire game. Baylor's got 12 turnovers at the half. Enough said.
Hey, it was good to see Devontae Bandu for Baylor warming up. It would appear that he will be able to go here in the second half. He left the court. And there you see number 2. It looks like he's going to be okay. Also, Mark Vital will start the second half for Baylor. He has 3 personal fouls, something to keep an eye on.
He's going to be walking on eggshells, especially with this front line. And there's a foul inside. That might be Shibwe. He ran over Butler on a cross screen. If it is, that's his quick third. So they set up a play to cross screen inside, and Shibwe runs over Jared Butler, and he's essentially fouled himself out of the next part of this game.
Shibwe against Baylor, the first go around, 11 points, 12 rebounds. He's got 9 double-doubles on the year, such a big factor inside. That's a big loss for West Virginia.
How about the starting lineup for West Virginia? Harler, McBride getting a chance to start the second half.
Harler guarding Mitchell. Mitchell gives it to Vital, got it, and 1.
Well, we talked about Vital. He's walking on eggshells with those 3 fouls, but in the opinion of Keith Kimball, Oseboyan did not get over there in time and pick up his 25th charge of the year. Take a look, see what you think. Close, could have been a charge easily.
But Oseboyan is a master at that.
He really is.
Mark Vital has struggled at the line this year, just 44% at the stripe, and he misses that one.
Well, he fits right in this game.
Well, Baylor ties it up. They've only trailed 4 times in the second half all year.
This is a good test for Baylor. Obviously, Big 12 titles on the line, but this game's going to help them going forward.
The freshman McBride draws a foul from Jared Butler, and that'll be number 2 on Butler. Talked about the guards at the top, Fran, what they did on Monday against Texas Tech, that big Monday tilt. First half today, limited.
Absolutely. Credit that defense by West Virginia. And it's rare that you see a donut in any half of a game from the Baylor Bears from behind the arc.
Yeah, they count on it. 35% as a team from outside the arc. Nothing today.
This young man, his career high was against Ohio State in Cleveland right at the end of December. Miles McBride. His mom was an Ohio State tennis player, excuse me.
There's going to be a lane violation on Freddie Gillespie's smile on his face. Yeah, you caught me.
Well, and I think because of the way Osaboyan and Culver attacked the paint, he's probably trying to cheat a little bit, get in there early. Just cost his team a point.
Yeah. West Virginia back up by a couple. Again, Baylor needs a win and a Kansas loss in Lubbock. That game is now underway at Texas Tech as they try to get a share of the Big 12 title and a number 1 seed for the Big 12 tournament. Vital going right to the 10, and he was mugged by McBride going there.
And it's not a bad foul.
But that's his third.
But that is a bad foul. I was going to say, you put Vital on the line, that's okay, but you don't want to pick up your third. I used to tell my good players, let him score. Yeah. We need you on the court. You're going to be good for 10 points. You foul yourself out of the game, you don't help us.
Yeah, that's 2 big stars for West Virginia on the pie now, Sheboy and McBride. You're talking about 21 points per game and double-digit rebounds per game. Vital missed them both.
Guess it's a good trade-off, but you want to have Vital out there.
There's Napper into the game for the first time for West Virginia. He's had an injury-plagued career, but they need him out there now.
He just double-dribbled, by the way.
He got away with it.
He did.
By the way, Joe DeRosa is our crew chief today. He's retiring at the end of the year.
One of the best in the business. This is a great crew today. It's a hard game to officiate. They haven't gotten them all right today, believe me, but really good crew, and Joe is one of the best. Former NBA official as well.
Joe DeRosa, Keith Kimball, Darren George. Napper throws up a 3. Culver got the rebound, and he got fouled over the back by Freddie.
This is something that's foreign to Baylor on the defensive backboards. They are not used to a team like West Virginia hammering them down here, which makes sense because they are the best offensive rebounding team in the country.
Gillespie just picked up his third, but Scott Drew stays with him. Osaboyan attacks him, can't finish at the rim.
I mean, Baylor should be down 14.
Gillespie and Vital both on the floor with 3 fouls. Vital to Gillespie. Hook shot goes down.
Mark Vital's a pretty good passer in there among all the things he does to help his team. Tough shot by Gillespie over Culver.
A former Division III player with 6 as Culver slams it down for the Mountaineers.
And you know why, Clay? Because Freddie Gillespie did not want to pick up number 4. That's good execution by West Virginia.
Gillespie on Monday night had 4 fouls. He played several minutes with those 4 fouls. Never did pick up the 5th. Blocked by Culver. And out of bounds to West Virginia.
Let's go back on that other end. And Bob Huggins has won 880 games. He's no dummy. He realizes Gillespie's got 3. So they post Culver quickly. Good entry. And then on the other end, Culver, of course, with that length and strength, challenging Mitchell.
And they really need Culver now with Sheboy on the bench.
Look at Mitchell. Look at that pressure. That is all individual defense right there.
Yes.
How about that?
Davion Mitchell, his first three.
Not a great shooter, but boy, he's as good as there is on the ball.
And now Culver going back to work. Thamba picks up the foul. Flo Thamba will send Culver back to the line.
Well, they call this guy off night for a reason, because you usually have an off night. Look at the great hustle by Mitchell, and that leads to offense. The transfer from Auburn, knocking it down, giving the Bears a spark. This is contagious.
Culver now 0 for 3 at the line, and West Virginia 4 of 7 as a team as you look at Davion Mitchell. And to say he's been a good fit with Baylor would be an understatement.
Yeah, no question.
Vital tried to hit Thamba, kind of rattled around in his hands. They're going to say last touch by Haley. And this is kind of how the beginning of the game was, a little choppy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's going to stay this way.
We did find some flow in the first half.
Yeah, no, I expect this to be choppy till the end of the game. That's because of the defense.
Mitchell probing. Gets it to Teague. Created a little space. And now looking for help. 5 to shoot. Teague. Floats it in.
Shot.
Maceo
He's
Teague.
got a knack of that play. That's a soft touch.
With that right wrist, which is still not at 100%,
yep.
So that's impressive. Baylor back in front by 2. Osaboyan drops it again inside to Culver. That's the game plan. Now, who picked up that foul? It's either going to be on Thamba. Yes, it is. It's his second. Back in a moment.
Imagine.
There's plenty of Big 12 coverage coming your way all spring on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. We'll have the post-game press conferences from every game of both the men's and women's tournaments. And Big 12 Now continues after the basketball season with over 80 baseball games, 30 softball games. Sign up today, ESPNplus.com/Big12Now. 30-28, Baylor leading here on the road alongside Fran Fraschilla on Clay Matvick. And there's several guys in foul trouble here, and there's still a lot of game left.
No question about it. It's been a physical game. We expected that. Both teams play through the inside of their offense. Great offensive rebounding teams. Shibwe sitting right now. It's Vital out there. Let's see. He's playing with 3.
Derek Culver at the line for the Mountaineers. It has been a struggle this season and again today at the stripe for the team.
It's tough. It's, like I said, it's contagious. And the key for Baylor now is to expect a miss. So you got a defensive rebound.
They only make 64%. That's last in the league. Missed them both there. West Virginia is going to get a break. I'm going to say last touch by Butler. Now, one of the main reasons that they got to win at Iowa State on Tuesday is they hit their foul shots. But they're not hitting them today.
No, they're not. And remember, Culver only shot 2 in Ames. But again, Baylor not crashing the defensive glass.
Here's Haley. Matthews was great in the first half. He had 8 points. That one's off the iron. Tipped around, and it's going to go the other way. It seems like Baylor's in a pretty good spot right now, Fran. There's been several ebbs and flows in this game, but Baylor's got the lead, and they've got the crowd essentially out of it.
Yeah, and again, West Virginia, all it takes is a couple made shots, and this crowd will be right back into it.
Vital attacking.
But that's the problem for Baylor, Vital getting fouled, because he's in the same boat as Big Culver. When I was coaching guys like this, we used to pray that they hit the first one. Because if they make 1 out of 2, you feel like
you'll take it.
You'll take it.
Well, Gabo Saboyan, you can add his name to the list, Fran, in foul trouble. He just picked up his third for West Virginia.
See, right now, Scott Drew is happy. Now he'll be ecstatic if he makes the second one. Look at Vital.
And that's what he does best. Attacks the glass.
Oh,
Mark Vital.
What a play. You know, we talked about it. We talked about it early in the game when he said he didn't have any impact. He started to have an impact. He's feeling good.
Knee tendonitis. Be danged. He is playing well. There's Harler on senior day. Can't hit the three. Culver, second chance opportunity, will be fouled by Tharma.
Watch Mark Vital. Now, he misses the shot, and he's just going to say, hey, it's as much my ball as anybody else's out here. There's the effort and the finish. He's brought that to this team the entire season.
That's a little Rico gathered.
Oh, yeah. Baby Rico. Yep, he's Baby Rico. Been that way since he arrived on campus. In fact, he's got that tight end build as well.
And the lead is up to 5 now for Baylor. Led by as many as 9 in this game. They came out of the gates hot. Led 9-0.
Bandu's back.
Harler will kick it to Emmett Matthews from the wing. Not this time.
Look at this offensive rebounding.
Haley, second chance putback.
That is keeping them in this game. Baylor usually does not get dominated like this on the glass.
First points for Jermaine Haley. Keep an eye on number 2 for Baylor. How well is he moving around? As Mitchell scores on the layup.
How well is he moving around?
Very nicely. He's got 5 since halftime, 7 in the game. And now man down, it's Taz Sherman for West Virginia. Junior college All-American last year, now struggling to put weight on that right leg.
Yeah, and that's a big loss. He's averaged 11 points a game. In the last 6, he and McNeil have both been what Huggins bargained for when he recruited these guys out of junior college.
Well, if it's not foul trouble, it might be attrition from injuries. I mean, this has been a physical game.
It has. It's the end of the season. These teams are tired. You know, they put a lot into the effort playing in this league. A lot of switching right now by Baylor.
Bandu poked it away from McNeil. He got it back.
Gillespie's trying to keep Culver from getting it.
Matthews goes right around Vital, but can't slam it down. Now Bandu on the run. Try to split the double team. Got it and won.
That's what he does. Now, I think Gillespie might have got a piece of this shot, and he's playing with 3 fouls. Let's take a look. Watch Matthews come down the lane. Here comes Gillespie challenging. Good no call. And then here comes the microwave. Yep, same school that produced Vinnie Johnson. Baylor, Bandu.
And the senior from Canada can't complete the 3-point play, but it's an 11-2 run for the Bears. The lead is 7.
Wow, that's the 4th on Gillespie.
That's big.
I didn't catch it, but man, you've been letting both teams bang all night long.
And now Gillespie.
I don't know. There's so much contact in this game. The officials have done a good job. I get it.
Getting told to just go sit down. Matthews. Haley the rebound. Here's Harler now. Matthews again. This time he finishes. What a day for Emmett.
And it's needed because he's had a tough year. But there's no rim protection right now without Gillespie. And Matthews knows it. Culver needs to know it. And they need to pound the ball inside right now. This young man, Emmett Matthews, got off to a great start this year, but one double-figure game since, you ready for this, December 14th.
Wow. Flo Thamba now has 4.
I tell you, West Virginia's in a golden situation.
11 for Matthews. Travel. Baylor turnover.
First turnover of the second half. That's the good news. Well, you got to go inside.
Matthews flashed. They'll keep it on the perimeter.
Remember, Vital's got 3 too, so you have to explore Culver inside.
Matthews can't miss today, it seems.
Nope. He's been in witness protection for 2 months, and they found him.
The sophomore from Tacoma brings it into a 2-point difference. Mitchell had it blocked. Vital. Another second chance opportunity, doesn't go. Thamba will slam it down.
But there's a third chance opportunity for Vital. Did you see that? Amazing. Oh, we're going to have fun this last 12 minutes.
Bears thinking league championship, their first since 1950. Of course, they need a Kansas loss in Lubbock if they get the win to make that happen. Culver, yes.
Yeah, right now, Thamba's invisible with 4 fouls, so you have to go at him every time.
Mitchell left all alone for 3, and he swishes it home.
You don't win 26 games for no reason. These guys are cool customers.
So Mitchell in double figures, that's his second triple. And the lead goes back to 5 for Baylor. Just over 11 minutes to play. Haley on the baseline, yes. And now we've got some flow, Fran.
Yes, because there's no interior defense from Baylor. And if you're West Virginia, you got to keep attacking the paint. That's pretty obvious.
That team shooting it pretty well here in the second half. Mitchell again. Kicks to Bandu for 3. Strong. Matthews skies for the rebound. And the Mountaineers will set up.
That's smart.
Culver. And lost the handle. The Bears will get it back. Mark Vital, he's been in some foul trouble, but playing aggressive.
Oh, yeah, and they're going to need all the energy he brings to this team. Not a second effort, but a third effort. And Thamba gets the easy one.
Playing Fran back here in Morgantown. Baylor with a 3-point lead. They have a chance to be the 1 seed in Kansas City next week for the Big 12 tournament. They're a projected 1 seed right now, according to Joe Lunardi, for the NCAAB tournament. They could be the number 1 overall seed.
That's right. And this game today, a win would definitely add to that. A loss is not going to hurt them. They are a number 1 seed going into the NCAA tournament, no matter what happens today or in the Big 12 tournament, based on this incredible body of work all season long.
As far as the Big 12 tournament goes, they're going to be either a 1 or a 2 seed. We know that. They have never been a top 2 seed in Kansas City. That goes back to what you and I were talking about earlier. Might be the best Baylor team ever.
Yeah, there's no question. And it gets back to what we've always talked about during the year about the great job Scott Drew has done. 17 years took this program from NCAA death's door to now having one of the great programs in the country.
They've got the ball and the lead with 10:17 to go. Trying to get their 8th conference road win. Some patience here by Mitchell. Mitchell into the lane. Vital. Flipped up by Thama. Can't get it to go. And it's ripped at. That's going to be a change of possession.
Mark Vital, point blank, can't miss those. But again, little harder to score on this team in the lane than many teams they've seen this year. Sheboy's back now.
It's the first time we have seen him since the early moments of the second half when he picked up his 3rd foul.
And I think you go into Sheboy. He scored on Thamba in the first half. But, again, there's the zone. And this is an anomaly this season. 99% man-to-man.
Thamba, pretty good defense. And that's a foul on Thamba. He's done. He's got 5.
Wow. Wow. I didn't see it.
What a game changer Sheboy is. He gets in and immediately forces Thamba out of the game.
Take a look now. Let's watch Thamba. See what he does. Holds his ground. Oh, he reached in. Okay. I thought he went through Sheboy. But in a game like this, I don't know. I'm not calling that because you've already had some felonies committed today that you haven't called.
And so Gillespie is back in there. He's got 4.
Crazy. Now, Myers on the bike in the back. We haven't seen him, I don't think, since the first half.
Yeah, he was shaken up on that same play that Bandu was shaken up on late in the first. And Sheboy, a better foul shooter than Culver, knocks down the first. And there's Matthew Myers.
And Myers not looking good. He was limping, so I'm not sure he can play. It's his back. He's holding his back. He's talking about it.
Two big makes for Oscar Sheboy.
Well, there's no excuses for West Virginia. The game is in their hands at home.
McNeil guarding Teague. Teague pushing in. Here's Butler, who's been quiet in the second half. And a foul against Butler.
I think that is that their 6th or 7th? Team foul 6, so next one will put them in the bonus.
As Sean McNeil just picked up his 3rd personal.
I think Jared Butler's got to look at this.
Haley steals it away. Numbers for the Mountaineers. Haley dumps it off to the Big O.
There it is. Too much dribbling. This game is in West Virginia's hands to win.
Skip pass. McNeil all alone. Harler comes up with the loose ball and they'll reset.
And they have dominated the glass today.
Harler.
I think this game is on Baylor's end. It's got to be in Jared Butler's hands.
And number 12 has been a little quiet. Now you're right, a lot of perimeter dribbling by Baylor the last few possessions. Bandu finally gets it into the lane, but can't get it to go down. Gillespie keeps it alive for the Bears.
They've got time. They get a new reset. It's the loudest place I've been in all season, Clay.
I'm with you. Play on. Here comes West Virginia.
I go inside. Gillespie's got 4. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out.
McNeil lost it. Got it back. Finds Matthews. Another dunk. Timeout, Baylor. Nothing run takes us to commercial. Emmett Matthews having a day here in Morgantown. The lead is 3 for the Mountaineers. Baseball season, and we've got you covered on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Baylor coming your way later this week. 3 home games from Waco, starting with Dallas Baptist on Wednesday. And Baylor softball also March 20th. First game of the 3-game series against Kansas. Again, ebbs and flows in this game, Fran. And right now, West Virginia has the advantage at home with over 7 minutes to go. The lead is 3.
Yes, Baylor has not moved the ball well. They use a term, they call it sharing the sugar. We know what that means. Move the ball. Whoever's open, it's got a good shot, they take it. Because West Virginia's defense has been so good today, there's no way they can share the ball the way they want to. And Jared Butler is the guy that has to be more involved in this game down the stretch.
You see the Baylor scoring drought right now. Over 4 minutes. In the first meeting, it was Baylor who kept West Virginia without a field goal for nearly 10 minutes in the second half. And now it's West Virginia locking down defensively in this game at a critical point.
Good matchup here. Miles McBride, a good defender for a freshman. He's got Butler. Butler's going to try to get some things going.
Butler takes it in deep. Kicks it to the corner. Teague in the paint now. Hands off. Gillespie had it blocked by Haley. Great defense by the senior.
Yeah, this could be the play of the game. Oh, he traveled.
That's the second time he's done that today. And we've got another timeout. An exciting finish we expect here in Morgantown. Final day of the regular season.
It's time to announce the winner of the...
These Mountaineer fans getting their money's worth today. 3-point lead for West Virginia, but the turnovers have been a problem.
It has been a bugaboo all season long. Turnovers, of course, shooting. And there with a chance to go up 5 or 6, they turn it over. And you know, this is a gut check for Baylor. But I'm telling you, Clay, West Virginia has a tremendous opportunity to knock off number 2. Everything is setting up for a West Virginia win.
Catch and shoot. Doesn't go for Teague. And there's Sheboy sailing in for the rebound. It's been 5 minutes and no points.
Yes, Gillespie still has 4. Small lineup for West Virginia. That's the same play they wanted to run early.
Big time scoring drought here for Baylor.
Mismatch inside. Guard on Sheboy.
Haley draws the front iron out of bounds. I'll stay on this end. New shot clock.
Haley doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but they left him wide open. Matthews back. He's already got 15. Highest scoring game since early December for Emmett Matthews Jr.
Here's Haley on senior day, double teamed. His final game in this building. He's had a pretty good run the last couple of years as a Mountaineer. McNeil floats it up and in. Big basket for West Virginia.
That's the basket they needed when they turned it over the couple previous plays. 5-point lead.
6 minutes without a point for Baylor. Mitchell takes it in himself. Can't get it to go. Haley, Euro step finish. Even Bob Huggins telling the crowd to get louder. And Butler will go to the line for the Bears.
Well, if this play looks familiar by Jermaine Haley, watch him go coast to coast. This is exactly the replica of the shot that beat Kansas a year ago in here. And as you mentioned, it's a senior day. Young man from Vancouver area, dad an NFL player.
Yeah, he's a world traveler. He started at New Mexico State, played in junior college before coming here a couple of years ago, and he got a big salute before the game today.
Yep, sure did. 2 solid seasons.
Butler with the first point in a long time. As we take a look at the Big 12 scoreboard, Kansas out to that lead. 3 minutes left in the first half. Again, Baylor rooting for a Kansas loss.
Baylor right now not even thinking about that.
Sure. They have their hands full here in Morgantown, as they knew they would. They won here last year, but victories in this building are rare. Boy, Haley has really turned it on here the last couple of minutes.
Big bucket. He can handle the ball like a point guard, and you've seen him now twice in a row. No flow to Baylor's offense.
And Butler again can't get a basket, but he draws contact and gets on the line. That's on Matthews.
Emmett Matthews is called for a foul. The second.
Watch this screen here by Shibwe. Looks legal. Heart solid. Screen that Mitchell ran into, and Haley again. Senior day trying to close it out with a bang.
8 points for Jermaine Haley. Again, West Virginia, they could finish anywhere from 3rd to 7th in the Big 12. So a lot riding on this game as far as their seeding goes for the Big 12 tournament, which starts on Wednesday. They want to avoid that Wednesday game. Baylor, they got a chance to get a share of the Big 12 title today.
Bob Huggins has an interesting dilemma because Culver's on the bench. You don't want to put him in because he's a poor free throw shooter, but Baylor can't afford to foul anybody with their foul trouble.
Gillespie, he's got 4.
Watch out!
And there goes Shibwe right around him.
Hammer time!
Butler hoists a long 3, came up empty. I don't think that's the shot Scott Drew wanted on that possession.
I said it earlier, Baylor's got an out-of-body experience today.
Miles McBride attacks. Yes. Biggest lead for West Virginia. West Virginia's got it. Again, it was Haley with the defense. McBride again. Look out. The roof is rumbling in Morgantown. Biggest lead for the Mountaineers. An upset brewing here in West Virginia. The Mountaineers have taken control with 3 minutes left. WVU Coliseum, it has been rocking today, Fran Fraschilli. You said you haven't been any place louder this year.
What? What'd you say?
Exactly. Boy, this game changed, and it changed fast. It was a 5-point lead for Baylor with 11 and a half to go. What happened?
You know, first of all, West Virginia's defense has been great all day long. Baylor's got 46 points. You got to give them credit. Baylor, I thought, walked on eggshells with the foul trouble, some of the injuries. They got shorthanded, but you can't take away from the fact that this has been an elite defense today. And Emmett Matthews, a kid that's had one double-figure game in 2.5, 3 months, showed up. He's been big.
You see the foul trouble. We also should mention that Matthew Meyer has been absent with something ailing him on the bench for Baylor, the lion's share of their second half.
Hurt his back in that scrum at one end. Tried to loosen up on the bike, but apparently he wasn't able to help them, and they've been shorthanded. But you got to credit West Virginia. This is the kind of defense they played for much of the year.
Oscar Shibwe's fourth foul puts Butler on the line, and it rattles out for Jared Butler, who had 7 at halftime, no points here in the second half. As you look at Clark, another guy who's unavailable for Baylor.
Little pressure now. Remember, they got the 4 guards. It looks like 4 guards and Vital.
And there's a foul on Maceo Teague. And 2:45 left. And so Matthews will go to the line. For a 1-and-1.
Emmett Matthews in the line.
Emmett Matthews, a sophomore from Tacoma, Washington, originally signed to play at UConn, found his way to West Virginia, and it's been up and down. But today, final day of the regular season, it's been very up.
They needed it. One of the things we talked about early in this game was it didn't matter how good the defense was for the Mountaineers. They had to make some shots.
They'll get one. And the lead is 11. It is the biggest lead of the day for West Virginia. Now can they close it up? From the corner. Oh, that's a clutch 3 by Butler.
And they've got a good pressing team out here now. That's the lob here.
There it is. A little late. And Shibwe was pushed from behind. And that's going to be a foul on Davion Mitchell.
Baylor fouls on number 45. Davion Mitchell.
You mentioned Shibwe, a little better free throw shooter than Culver. But if you're Baylor now, you got to make sure that you block off.
And that's the 10th team foul. So the double bonus rests away here for West Virginia. How about the big guy, Smooth, just like West Virginia was in Ames in the second half. They hit 18 second half free throws.
Yep, and I love his, watch his form. Not a lot of wasted motion.
He doesn't have a great percentage for a big man, but you can tell he has the potential to be a really good foul shooter in the future.
It's up over 70 now. I'll take it.
Mitchell for 3. You bet.
Big one. That's P squared right there. Paint and pass it.
And now a Baylor foul in the backcourt. That's Jared Butler.
Baylor foul on number 12.
And McBride comes in today, 74%. Again, this young man is a winner. In a lot of clutch situations in high school, he's going to make a couple here.
Shooting a pair, Deuce McBride.
Public address announcer calls him Deuce. That's what he's been known as since he was a kid growing up in Cincinnati.
His dad, Walt, played at Xavier, was a good player. Mom played tennis at Ohio State.
He is going to be a great one, too. 2 minutes to go. Does Baylor have a comeback in him? Butler will go back to the line. That's Haley, number 2.
He did a good job of selling the contact right there, Jared Butler. He just jumped right into the West Virginia defenders and sold it, let's just say.
There's a 10th team foul. Double bonus here for Baylor, both teams in that situation.
You know, Clay, one thing I've been thinking about with this West Virginia team, this crowd has been amazing today.
Yeah.
They have to bring the energy to Kansas City next week without the crowd. This team can be really, really good and a pain in the neck in Kansas City if they play with this effort on a neutral site.
You know, they say that defense travels, but we have seen a different intensity here at home, not just today, but throughout the season for West Virginia. Sometimes on the road, it lets them down a little bit.
I agree, and listen, when they're right, their defense, I keep mentioning it, you know, it's amazing about the league. Kansas, Baylor, West Virginia, 3 of the 4 best defensive teams in the country.
You can even throw Texas Tech in there.
Tech and Texas is now in the top 30.
Now how about Texas here down the stretch? 5 wins in a row.
Less is more. Only have 8 scholarship guys. Big ones, big free throws.
Yeah, West Virginia continues to sink them at the line. That deep 3 missed for Butler. Sheboy corrals the rebound and he's hacked. And West Virginia starting to feel it with 1:48 to go. Said it many times, Baylor with a win and a Kansas loss would get a share of the Big 12 title. That may be slipping away from Baylor, not only here in Morgantown, but things are looking pretty good for Kansas in Lubbock.
Exactly. Kansas has a chance to go 17-1. Of course, they're the #1 team in the country, and right now the favorite to win it all.
What a job Bill Self has done this year. You talk about the NCAA investigations, the FBI investigations, injuries, suspensions,
yes,
and they have held it together.
They have. Nobody better at compartmentalizing than Bill Self.
Back to a double-digit lead. Butler floats in and scores.
Got to set that press up quickly, try to trap quickly, and then foul. Can't really wait too much longer.
Timeout called by the Mountaineers.
And the Mountaineers are going to call a timeout. With 1:29 to go. And we were talking about the setup for the Big 12 tournament, which starts in Kansas City at the Sprint Center on Wednesday. We know that Kansas and Baylor are the only 2 teams that can claim that 1 seed. It's looking like it's more and more likely it's going to be Kansas at this point. West Virginia, a projected 8 seed for Joe Lunardi in the big tournament. And you talked about it before. You don't think that Baylor is going to fall off that 1 line?
I don't.
For the big dance.
No, I really don't. And I think this loss is going to end up being good for them. They need to recalibrate in the next 5 days. They need to get healthy first, see if they can get something out of Tristan Clark, who's really been in and out of the lineup all year. But they need to recalibrate. They need to rest the next couple days and really focus on Thursday, which right now looks like they're going to be the 2 seed.
Tristan Clark, no impact today. He's been in street clothes. He had a good game the first time these 2 teams met as we get a foul on the floor, and Matthews got poked in the eye.
See Mark Vital standing over there saying, hey, I didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, that's the 4th on Vital. Yeah, you wonder what Baylor can get from Clark in the future. Unable to give him anything today. They're going to go to the monitor and take a look and see if that was something flagrant.
Well, let's see. No, I just think I don't think he's trying to hit him in the face from behind. Take a look now. Just trying to make a play on the ball. You see he holds him up. I would hope this is quick.
Matthews, 16 points, 4 rebounds. An assist. He's played well defensively, especially up top on the perimeter. I thought he's been great defensively.
He's a good athlete, and he's coming off a great season at the end of last year. And what has surprised me is that he's been so inconsistent because he does have so much talent. He's a young player.
How scary is West Virginia, especially considering that they're going to go into this Big 12 tournament with some momentum? They got the win at Iowa State on Tuesday night, just their second conference road win of the season, but it gave them some momentum coming into this game. And if they can finish this one off, how dangerous are they in Kansas City and beyond?
My good friend Jeff Van Gundy says it best. The ball's in the air, right on the way to the rim. Good team, bad team. Good team, bad team. Good team, bad team. If they make shots like they've done somewhat today, they can beat anybody in this league. Anybody. When they struggle to score and make threes, then they have to rely on their defense and offensive rebounding, and the margin for error is much smaller.
Two more for Matthews at the line. And the lead again, double digits, under a minute and a half to go. Now he's just taking matters into his own hands. Butler has touched the ball every possession here the last 5 or 6 trips. Shibwe ahead of everybody.
And one. The big fella. One of the best freshmen in the country. Third McDonald's All-American to play at West Virginia. And this young man can run. Now you don't see him running here because he's already hanging out down there. But he can get up the court, and boy, can he finish. Remember his first Big 12 game, 17-17 at Allen Fieldhouse.
Mitchell back in the hands of Butler. He'll take it from there. Shibwe. Boy, he's found another gear. And now McNeil will be on the line as Mitchell is called for that one. Here's the West Virginia resume. They are 19 in the net. And Joe Lunardi right now has them as an 8 seed in his projections, one of 6 Big 12 teams that he has in the NCAA tournament.
If you think back to early in the year, as well as they were playing, would you want to play them in the second round if you're a 1 seed the way they play today with this defense and rebounding?
Meanwhile, this is going to be the 3rd Baylor loss in 5 games.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that as much.
As Vital follows.
Because of who they played. The TCU loss was a tough loss. But Kansas and West Virginia, I just think they do need to get back to wake up.
Regroup. That's 5 on Mark Vital. And we weren't even sure if he was going to play today. Not only did he played well, he played aggressive. But does pick up his 5th personal foul when he's done.
Checking in for Baylor, Freddie Gillespie. Sean McNeil at the line, 2 shots.
And McNeil will go to the line for 2 for West Virginia. Where the free throw shooting has been extra good, especially in the second half. 22 of 30 for the game for the Mountaineers. Mitchell, his 3 swims in. And a timeout called by Baylor. They're out of timeouts. And the lead is 10. All right, so this is what we talked about at the top of the broadcast, Fran. It's so fluid when it comes to the Big 12 tournament. All the seeds are going to be decided by about 8 o'clock tonight.
Yes.
A lot in play.
Yep, and listen, you look at Baylor on that side, TCU K-State winner. I'm not sure I'd want to play West Virginia if I were KU in the semifinal. Not the way they played today. So there's a lot of basketball that's going to start on Wednesday night in Kansas City. And it's going to be a whole new season. It's going to be a blast.
This is your best time of year.
Absolutely. It's nothing like Power and Light District in Kansas City for the Big 12 tournament. Incredible atmosphere.
And the weather is good in Missouri, we're told.
Oh, yeah. It's been a mild winter.
It's been an early spring, too.
In the heartland, yep.
West Virginia doing today what they had to do to pull an upset. Now they've got 41 seconds left here to close this one out, but it all looks good right now for the Mountaineers to get to 9-9 in the Big 12.
Right, and they're a long way from where they were early in the year, but they're also a long way from where they were 2 weeks ago.
And think about it, they got down 9-0 in this game. It was looking like this might be a blowout in the first few minutes of the day. Baylor just came out charging. West Virginia couldn't make a shot. But boy, things turned around.
I think what I loved about West Virginia is they dominated the offensive glass in that first half.
And Haley is tagged by Teague.
Baylor foul call number 31, ACO Teague, his fourth.
I don't know about you, Clay Mack, but I'm going to be on my toes when this game ends because the Mountaineer Maniacs are ready to celebrate.
You're going to have your phone ready for some social media action. I know you.
Well, you know what? There's nothing better than hearing country roads in here after a big win. That'll send a tingle up your spine.
Jermaine Haley's had a pretty good senior day. And a reach in there on Butler. McBride will go back to the line. There were a couple of times early in this game as Butler picks up his fifth that I thought the roof of this building might come off.
Well, I've got to tell you, we've seen a lot of basketball this year, and when West Virginia took control of this game, there has been no place louder I've been all season.
Butler, their third Bear to foul out today, joining Thamba and Vital.
I honestly think as a coach, right now this atmosphere is humble pie for Baylor, and this will help them the next 5 days, assuming they're healthy, because we don't know, the condition of Clark and Meyer and Bandu bouncing around today.
We'll see if Baylor backs off. It looks like they're going to. A 12-point upset win for the West Virginia Mountaineers as number 4 Baylor goes down. The Mountaineers play spoiler. And I think they're going to have to hold this crowd up. Good luck with that. There are 0.6 of a second left on the clock. They say let's not worry about that 0.6. Ball game 76-64 the final, and it's almost heaven here in Morgantown, West Virginia. West Virginia with the upset, 2-game winning streak going into the Big 12 tournament. For Baylor, they are denied a championship in the Big 12, but this is a good basketball team. They just ran out of bodies at the end, 3 guys fouling out.
Let's start with West Virginia. Incredible defense. They're number 3 in the country for a reason. They shut down Baylor essentially for 40 minutes. And they got some shot making from Matthews, from Haley finishing up, Sheboy inside. Baylor looked like they were going to take control early second half. They just didn't have enough offensive explosion. But you got to credit West Virginia. And this is the team we saw early in the year when they were highly ranked. Impressive today. At home. Little country roads in the background, not much better than this.
You said it a couple of times during the broadcast today, Fran, that West Virginia struggles to score. But it was Baylor today that went several minutes at a time without making a field goal. There's some real droughts today for the Bears as you look at the senior Chase Harler, his fiancée Lindsay trailing behind. He proposed to her before the game today on the court in front of everybody.
It's already been a good day for Chase Harler. And it's a little better because there's the ring. Yeah, congrats.
That's wonderful. High school sweethearts. They've known each other since the 8th grade. And soon to be wed. What a senior day. One that Chase Harler will never forget.
That's definite.
John Denver sings in the background. A great way to end the regular season here in Morgantown. Here's Emmett Matthews. We hope to talk to him here post-game. Bob Huggins is heading our way. We are told it's a 12-point win for the Mountaineers of West Virginia. Baylor, a remarkable year. 15 conference wins, the most in school history. They were hoping for 16 today, but stifling defense by the Mountaineers made that impossible. Here comes Bob Huggins. And Coach, congratulations on a wonderful win here at home in the final day of the regular season. Your defense was especially good.
You know, we're not physically tough enough, and they responded. I mean, they came out and played the way that I'm used to seeing my teams play.
Your team at the start looked a little nervous. I don't know what it was, but Baylor jumped on you early, got out to that 9-0 lead. After that, what changed?
Well, what do you think when your captain proposes to his girlfriend before the game? They're supposed to come out and be tough?
That's right.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, everybody finally settled in, though, and Emmett Matthews was terrific today.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He's so valuable for us because he can play a lot of different positions, and he actually made some shots today. I don't know where that came from, but you actually made some shots today.
Emmett, where was your game today specifically? It seemed like you were on from the get-go.
I just give credit to my coaches, and, all my teammates. We worked real hard this week. We knew who we were playing against. We knew the opponent. We knew the game plan, and we really wanted this one. We haven't been playing as well as we wanted to in the past, but, I think we're turning it back up to where we were at.
What about your momentum now going into the Big 12 tournament? You still don't know where you're going to be seated or who you're going to play, but you've got 2 wins in a row now, 1 on the road, which I know have been tough to come by this year. Where is this team's confidence?
I think our confidence is back to where it was in the beginning of the season. Obviously, we took some losses we didn't want to take, and we won a lot of games by a lot of points. But I think we're back to normal. We got a day off tomorrow. We got to get ready for Big 12 this week.
Coach, what is it about this place? When this crowd is rocking, this has got to be one of the toughest places in the country to play. Fran said he hasn't heard a place louder this year.
Well, I've never been an away team here, so I've always been the home team. So I kind of like it. I think it's good there. When you really stop and think about how far our people come to the games. There's people over in the Eastern Panhandle, which is over by D.C. There's people in the Northern Panhandle, up around Wheeling on the Ohio border, and then there's people to the south. And I mean, you're as far south as you can go. I mean, you go through the tunnel, you're in Virginia. Whenever you're in Bluefield and Princeton. So I give those people a lot of credit for persevering and staying with us.
Emmett, great game today, my friend.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Congratulations, Bob. Congratulations on the win. Good luck in Kansas City.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bob Huggins, Emmett Matthews, as West Virginia gets the win. They upset number 4 Baylor today, 76-64, the final. For Fran Fraschilla and our entire crew, I'm Clay Matvick saying so long from Morgantown. All games airing on Big 12 now on ESPN Plus are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. So long, everybody. 76-64, the Mountaineers with an upset win.